This is what happens when you put an entire swordfish head on a smoker.
Oh.
What's up, y'all? I'm Reed the Fishmonger, and today we're putting an entire swordfish head on our recteq flagship smoker. First, we gotta cut the head off. We're using our Dexter serrated knife to cut this off. It's crazy how easy it is to cut these massive heads off of these fish. When you cut a head off and the tail off and the guts out of a swordfish, that's called a swordfish core. And at Captain Clay's, that's typically how we buy these fish. But when the swordfish are smaller like this, they often leave the head on, and they call them display fish. We like bringing these head-on fish in because they look beautiful in the display. And today, we're gonna get to show you what happens when you put an entire swordfish head on a smoker. You guys, there was a crowd in the Walmart parking lot. Okay, not a crowd, there was 2 people in the Walmart parking lot wondering what the heck this is. Oh man, they were not expecting this when I showed them. We've got the ingredients, let's get to smoking. I'm so curious about this, you guys. I really don't know what to expect. I've eaten a swordfish eyeball raw. Can't say I was the biggest fan, but I was told I had to do it by the captain. Now we'll see how a smoked version goes. All right, we're in Cameraman Cam's backyard. The man, the myth, the legend that makes all of this happen. And he's got our recteq flagship preheated to 180 degrees for us. And all that's left is to get this beautiful bad boy marinated. Look at this silver from the swordfish, pretty crazy. We're just gonna get right to it. We also have this tail. I'm not sure if it's gonna fit on the smoker with the head, but we're gonna marinate it with it anyway. I did clean out this bucket really well before deciding to use it for a marinade, but the swordfish has already made it look pretty dirty. Really didn't think about how much soy sauce and apple cider vinegar it would take to submerge this head. We gotta get that eyeball covered though. And I told my wife I wasn't gonna need all of this apple cider vinegar and I was gonna come home with some extra for all of her homemade cleaning supplies, but I guess I have to buy more. Mix it up real good. I look forward to all the comments of how I could do this better next time. What does it need? Oranges. A Florida touch on everything you do is good, and there's no more Florida touch than oranges. And for those of you guys that don't know, I am born and raised in Southeast Florida. My dad's Captain Clay of Captain Clay & Sons Seafood Market. He's been commercial fishing the South Atlantic fisheries since the 70s. I grew up working on his commercial boat. We used to sell our commercial catch to other seafood markets before we opened up our own seafood market. And now, fast forward many years later, and we've got a swordfish head in a 5-gallon bucket trying to figure out how to make its eyeball taste good. See you guys in an hour. All right, time to pull it out of the bucket and throw it on the smoker. This is looking absolutely delicious already. Excited to get it going. And if you guys didn't know, this, looking good. All right, if you guys didn't know, swordfish eyeballs are actually extremely good for you. Oh, look at the juice pouring out of it. Swordfish eyeballs and fish eyeballs in general are really good for you. They're full of omega fatty acids. They are mineral rich, vitamin A rich, collagen rich. So this isn't just to make a fun video. You can see where the foil line is on the smoker. I'm trying to have the head not cross that line, so that way as the juices drip, it's not going back in there. It's gonna be a little bit easier to clean up. With that, the bill is gonna have to stick out a little bit. So we'll see what happens. But there's our swordfish head. We're leaving it at 180 degrees. We're gonna watch the temperature because it's not gonna be able to close all the way. And not being able to close all the way, if it can't hold 180 degrees, which it probably will be able to, it's 180 degrees outside anyway, we'll pump up the heat so that way the internal is around 180. And it's not gonna need that long. We're gonna be at this low temperature for about 4 hours. 4 hours should be absolutely plenty to have the meat around the head cooked. We want to eat those cheeks. Really excited to see if the marinade punctured through the skin. Swordfish cheeks, I'm not really a fan of. They're like a little bit gummy. not fluffy and sweet like a lot of other fish cheeks, but we'll see. Anyways, you guys, there he is. Wave goodbye to our swordfish and we'll see him in 4 hours. All right, you guys, it's been a little over 4 hours and let's do the big reveal. Ready? Ready? Woo! I have never had a smoked swordfish eyeball, so I'm really curious to see how this plays out. Can't say I was the biggest fan of the raw swordfish eyeball, so how much worse could it be? Let's see. Oh yeah, look at that smoke inside of the head. The texture of the skin is insane. You can see how it's kind of like wrinkly and it feels like there's some, I don't know if that's fat or juice. Oh, look at that. That's pretty crazy. It's happening on this side too. I mean, I know there's some meat up in here, but whoa, look at the fat pouring out of that hole too. All right, before I go for the eyeball, let's check out this meat over here. Look how good that looks. Let's dig right in. Oh yeah, dude, that is straight fish butter. That is like just butter, straight oil. Marinade worked out. That is delicious. We should be able to peel this right off. Let's see. Oh yeah, check that out. Whoa. That's pretty gnarly looking. All right. You can just see all of the fat that's inside of the face there. That would make a wicked stock or broth. So let's check out this cheek. I told you guys I wasn't crazy about swordfish cheeks. You can see the texture. It's just like, I don't know, when I cooked them before, it was just super flubbery and smoked after being marinated. It doesn't really look that much better. I think maybe it's just so much fat. Much better than the first time I had it. Unlike most cheeks. I mean, look over here. Come here and check this out. You literally have a pool of fat pouring out of this face. Look down here. Look at this little pool of fat building up down there. You can grab the skin right here and peel. I honestly did not expect this to be so insanely fatty. All I want to do now is get another swordfish head and make a stock out of it. Kind of having fun peeling the skin off of this. Very satisfying. Look at that, it's crazy. I've cut thousands of swordfish and never smoked a head, and I really just did not know that there was this much fat inside of the head of a swordfish, of all fish. It's not the fattiest fish in the world, even though the shoulders and collars and belly are really fatty. I wonder what that meat's like. That's a weird texture going on there. Okay, well, let's try to see if we can get this eyeball out for the moment of truth. I think the whoa, look at that. Look, like that's just like straight fat. It wouldn't be good, but if you drank that, it would be so good for you. Oh gosh, there's juices pouring out of this. Ready for this? Oh, 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 there it is. There's the eyeball itself, and raw, it tastes like low tide and tapioca. And cooked, it's pretty gross too. Shout out to my Latin American homies that say they absolutely love the fish eyes. I need, I guess, maybe a lot more seasoning than that. Let me try some of y'all's cooking and eat the fish eye and like it better. This should just be like straight collagen-y, omega fish fatty acid goodness. And like, you just feel how oily it is. Really does not look appealing at all. It looks pretty gross, actually, but cheers. It actually wasn't as unpleasant as I thought it was gonna be. It was little fishier than the swordfish bone marrow that was smoked. Definitely a lot more liquid. The smokiness actually helped versus when I ate it raw, I think. But I feel better already. I feel like a superhuman. I can't say smoked swordfish eyes are my absolute favorite, but my favorite cut is the swordfish tomahawk, and I teach you guys how to make those in this video. Have a killer day.